Hello and welcome to the guest portion of DC Figures and Collectibles. I'm Tyler G and I'm joined by Scott P. And we are joined by our guest who today is at Son of Martha. And I want to make sure I get all the underscores correct. To be exact, it's actually, let's just show. Did it freeze again?
Can you see me?
It has froze, yes. It has unfortunately froze.
I wonder why it's not allowing me to switch. Oh, there we go.
I can improvise.
Well, show the name. It's son underscore of underscore Martha. And I've been following him and he's been following me for a long time. And I'm sure he's been following Scott for about as long as as long as he's been doing it. And we're happy to have him back on. We've had him as a guest previously. When we were just doing audio, and now we have a combination of audio and video. And we're not only joined by him, but we're also joined by a special guest. And if you want to introduce her,
baby Mila.
Baby Mila.
She woke up from her little break. She loves to. I always watch all these, those like Supergirl and all those shows where there's she's a Batman fan too. She doesn't know. Yeah.
Oh, good.
That's awesome. Well, we've been a while.
I really appreciate it. I love being on.
Well, hopefully I could come back on and join you if my camera allows. But we're happy to have. Okay, am I still frozen to you guys?
Yeah, you are still frozen.
Yeah.
What is going on? I hope it's not on a bad face.
No, it's very serious and it's a good.
Well, that's scary. Okay. Well. First of all, we want to ask, how are you doing? It's been a while since we've had you on. Just want to ask how you're doing since the last time we spoke.
Good. I mean, this is the biggest change. We had baby Mila. I think either she was just born or she was about to be born last time we spoke. But she's all grown up now and with us, and makes it kind of the photo taking a little bit more difficult. But I still kind of find the time and have to work around her schedule now. But that's been the biggest change.
Well, your quality of photos has only gone up, even though you say you've lost amount of time. And I wanted to ask you a little bit about the quality of your photos lately, because it seems like you've instituted a new technique that you never really used before, but it looks like your Photoshop game has been off the charts lately.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I try. I mean, you're always trying to, get better, of course, and I think before my biggest, if I was going to critique myself, I think sometimes because I like to do the little stories, and sometimes it was like the story almost took priority over the quality of the picture. So now I'm just trying to say, every little thing, even if it's just somebody talking, just try to make it look as nice as possible. There shouldn't be any like almost, killing time to get to the better photos. So I'm just trying to really put a lot more emphasis on each one. And, it's always about, we're all trying to get better as we go along and everything. And that's been the biggest thing.
Well, it definitely shows. Now, what have you been using, or what programs you use to get that new quality of photo that you're doing?
It's the same one that I've been using. The actual app I use, it's VFX Studio, and
great app
mostly. But I've been trying to do different things with like lighting. I got like these little like finger lights and stuff. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys use it too, but just little finger lights. I got a bunch on Amazon, and just try to make the backgrounds look as nice as I can. Just add as much detail as I can to the backgrounds and everything. And just whatever you can do to make it sure, just both with lighting and I'm still trying to work on my lighting. As far as glare, and so it's hard, it's always a work in progress, but just trying to get better like you guys.
Yeah, you can definitely tell you're putting a lot more attention into pictures, and that's evidently clear, especially in the 89 run. I really enjoyed that, and getting into returns now as well. I was really
That was a fun one. That was definitely a fun one to, because I've done it before with the NECA and something, but it's something really nostalgic about doing it with the original figure, with the updated version of the original figure. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, and like you started doing the returns on it as well. I mean, it's fantastic. I'm really glad you started doing that. I'm looking forward to seeing where you go with it. And I guess the planning of stories has been something that's changed for you quite a lot, because you finished the Justice League run the last time that we spoke to you.
Yeah,
so you've done a couple of different ones. How have you found that challenge?
Good. I'm actually, there's kind of like some little things here and there. I wanted to do the retro Batman '89 and Returns.
Yeah.
I finally get to use my Penguin one that I've been holding on to forever, and some animation. So I kind of just did a little bit of like Batman catch up, and I'm gonna start soon. I'm gonna do something with the NECA Alien Batman set with
awesome.
I'm gonna do something with that, and then. But after that, it's going to be back to DCEU, and I'm excited about it. We're going to bring Red Hood into it, and
cool.
It's going to be probably another year set of DCEU. I'm going to have the other Justice League guys in and out of it. I already have it in my head. It's planned out for a year, but I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, because that must have been a big change. So you've been going from Justice League that you did it was nearly 2 years, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that was crazy. It was fantastic.
I started doing it, and then I was like, let me just do, the next part and the next part. And then sometimes, there would be delays. The biggest one was waiting for the tactical suit. So
I can remember that.
Stretch it out. Because I really just wanted it to be, I was just bent on it being continuous, like, daily thing. And so I just stretched it. I never planned on it being that long. But then once I started, I was like, okay, I got to finish it now.
Yeah.
And then, so...
yeah, and from what you say, it's going to continue as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're gonna try bringing back in Red Hood and probably some. I have it planned out.
We need to start a hashtag like release the son of Martha cut.
The son of Martha.
We need to start a hashtag movement
with a 45-minute cyborg nightmare just to kill time.
It would have to be a limited series. It would have to be more than a movie.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I guess we don't know really what's happening with DCU at this point. I don't think we're going to see these renditions of the characters anymore. So may as well just kind of imagine what would have happened with them.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And like Scott said, you do stories and you do them continually. You have what do you have right now? 3 running or 2 running?
Right now, I was really backed up with X-Men because they kept releasing these, just wave after wave after wave. So I had to do kind of double up on X-Men. But I've been sitting on this cartoon Ninja Turtle one that I did, and I've been sitting on it for like 3 months. But I'm gonna put that one out probably next week, and start on that. And then that one was also a lot of fun, and start on. I have a comic one with the Mezco with the Killer Croc Build-A-Figure. And that thing, you guys have it. What a great figure. That thing is huge. I finally put it together. I mean, it's just a beast. So it was great to take some pictures of that and the blue Mezco Batman that just came out.
Oh, he's nice. Yeah, blue Mezco Batman looks so cool.
I think that might be, it's a really close tie between that and the original BVS Ben Affleck Batman. I think those two are the nicest ones they've made. I really like this last blue one that came out.
Yeah, it's a very nice figure, that blue one. Yeah, it really is. I think it's the best out of the 3 that they did in the Solid Night, or the 4 now. They've done the Black Mask one. The cape on the new figure. This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I prefer the BVS cape more.
They're both, they have their plus and minus. Yeah, I do like the BVS cape. It has a nice, like a quality to it. It had a nice quality to it, almost like a leathery.
Yes, yeah.
So yeah, I see what you're saying. The only thing is that one sometimes doesn't fold well. It's hard to post. It's just kind of, but they both have their plus and minus. But definitely that one looks more cinematic, almost the quality of it.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of hidden goodies that we haven't gotten to see yet.
Yeah, actually, let me do a quick little run here.
Nice.
So these are just some stuff you might be seeing. I just got this Israel Nightfall Batman that I've been wanting. Let me flip this second. Sorry. There we go. Cool. So I'm probably gonna have some stuff. I got my little Red Hood that you'll be seeing here.
Oh, nice. On a cycle.
And then, I got that thing, and then I might put some Watchmen coming out with the show. I haven't actually seen the show yet. I haven't got a chance, but I'm gonna start it this weekend. And this is kind of like my DCU show.
Oh, I love that shelf. That looks awesome.
Nice.
Dang, that X-Men shelf is money.
Yeah, it's getting hard to make. I got my Dark Knight trilogy collection and
classic
animated down here, of course.
Yeah, nice.
Batcave here. But just a little rundown. But definitely a lot of stuff looking forward to. to putting out soon.
So that's your bat room?
Yeah, it's my little like office, and this is where I take the pictures and everything. And
I like
my little bat cave.
Do you usually have the extreme sets up like that just always, or is that because you're in the middle of?
I have them actually boxed up for the most part. I have some like that was I had like a bat cave or a bat wing diorama, so it's just kind of limited stuff. But usually I have to have them boxed up just for space.
Yeah, especially the extreme. Yeah, they get pretty big, take up a lot of room, especially for just how much you get for them too.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, some of the new ones, I mean, they look so cool, but it's just like I just literally don't have the space. That's actually the only reason I never got the animated Batwing. I really wanted that thing, but it's just like it takes a lot of room. I just literally have no place to put it.
It takes a lot of energy just to be able to find a way to hang it up.
Yeah, exactly. Do you guys think they're ever going to make any of the new Joker movie figures? Have you heard anything about that? Or
I hope so.
I wonder if McFarlane will dig into it.
I really hope so. And speaking of Joker, what did you think of Joker?
I liked it a lot. It's funny because you think about it and it's like, okay, it's not really based on the comics at all. But then a lot of stuff really is. Because, I mean, in a way, unrelated, Batman did create him in a sense. I don't want to spoil it or anything, but, I mean, there's ties to Thomas Wayne and, his kind of jealousy issues is more with that. And then also, he always says that his past is multiple choice. And, I mean, if you've seen the movie, you're really not clear what happened. He may very well be okay to, fight Twilight Boy in a couple years. He's not. I mean, how old was he? I mean, he's older in real life, but in the movie, I mean, he could have been like a old-looking 28-year-old, 35-year-old, whatever.
Yeah,
I think they said that the date made him around 30 in that time period.
Oh, he was 30. Yeah, so it actually works because if Bruce is about 8, let's say let's give him 10. And then, he'll be 25 when he starts, he's 45-year-old Joker. It's not that, you could work around it if you really wanted to.
I mean, it's not that crazy. It's not crazier than Jack Nicholson being Joker at 60.
Yeah, exactly. If you think about it, or I mean, if we're really going to nitpick, I mean, Michael Keaton starting out as Batman, already, well into his middle age, going to, just as a rookie Batman. So, I mean.
That's true.
There's been kind of, changes made in the past and stuff. So but I did like just the spirit. It's kind of like with the Nolan movies, like with Bane. It's really not based on the comics at all. It's like very inaccurate to the comic, but somehow it still captures like the essence of the character. And I think as long as you're doing that, you're fine. As like, even with the Joker, like, with Heath Ledger's version, everybody was freaking out. Oh, he's not perma white. He puts his makeup on and everything. This isn't the Joker. Batman doesn't throw him in acid, but when you watch him, it's the Joker. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing kind of with him. The only thing I had with him was he was more. The scariest part of Joker for me is that his crimes are, unpredictable and almost based on nothing, just random. And this one was all, he was being victimized, and that aspect of it was just kind of like, it's more scary when somebody's like that for no reason. And
that's actually a good point.
The random element of the Joker wasn't there, and that's what makes him terrifying. He'll walk in and just gas the place because he wants his Joker fish or whatever, and just a bunch of. He never really goes after somebody that hurt him and punish them for being mean to him, basically, almost like bullying revenge type thing.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point.
I think that's where they strayed from the comics the most, but it's still it works the way they did it. But I mean, as far as just the movie itself, I mean, it's really well done, just really artistic. And in the end, you feel disturbed. And I think that was the point. I felt really sick when I left it. I didn't know. I mean, did this happen? Did it not happen? Wow, that was really shocking. A lot of the scenes are just like, whoa, they really stick with you. And I think that it did its job. Huh.
What are your thoughts on the reality of it?
I think it's a lot like American Psycho, where you really don't know. I think some of it was real. I don't think all of it was real.
Movie.
I'm sure it's really hard to say. There've been a lot of interesting analysis that I've seen where like they do screenshots of like the clocks, and like every clock in the movie is like the same time. So stuff like that makes you think, okay, was it really just all a dream or just, some story he made up? It's possible the whole thing was made up. It's really just, I think, up to interpretation. I did have a feeling that the girl was a dream early on, just because. Sorry, I hope everybody's seen it by now. That's watching this. I'm assuming
they better.
They better.
If they haven't seen it by now, it's their own fault.
But I had a hunch just because, it was too oh, okay, you're stalking me. Okay, cool. Well, let's hang out. It seemed funny, and especially with the fantasy in the beginning where he was watching the game show. So you kind of knew, okay, he makes some stuff up. He doesn't know what's real, what's not, and his mom's probably the same way.
Yeah.
One of my favorite viewing experiences was the second time watching it. There was probably an 18-year-old girl to my left on a date, and when she saw the girl Zazie Beetz character at the hospital with Arthur, she was she pumped her fist and was like, "At least she's still there."
Nope.
She has no clue. It was awesome seeing it multiple times and with different audiences and getting different reactions from them. That was an experience in and of itself.
That's the theater experience is always that's one thing that with when you have kids it gets harder to do it, but it's worth it when you can and make it work. And I remember with the Dark Knight Rises, we actually went to we went and saw the whole trilogy. They were showing it on IMAX.
Oh,
so I go with my wife, and she said, okay, let's go watch 10 Hours of Batman. So I convinced her, okay, cool. So we go there. We're sitting next to a guy that is in full, perfect Heath Ledger makeup. Just showed up by himself to the movie, just
no way. That's
and my wife had to sit next to this guy for 10 hours.
That'd be freaky.
That would be weird, yeah.
So the big question that I think that everyone wants to know, mostly, especially from the people that are making it, is do you think there should be a sequel? And do you think this Joker should ever go up against Robert Pattinson?
It's hard because, then you're forcing Matt Reeves to focus his Batman around something that works out with this Joker. And, I think if he had a vision for his world, he should just stick with that vision. I think they could leave it open that this one could one day turn into the Joker that he has in his movie. The other thing is I think you can do a sequel in a similar way, because if the Joker's past is multiple choice, you don't really know what's happening. You could just do a different version of, events. Just have Joker 2, whatever happened this way, and just, maybe he's in a carnival or whatever, just change the setting completely and just do another version of the story. Maybe in this one, he is a mob boss, like in the Nicholson original version. Maybe, there's different multiple choice. So there's different ways you could do the sequel. But as far as meeting with Batman, I think it would be tough. Just because, unless they're really on the same page on how they want Gotham to look and how the feel of the movie, the tone of the movie. If you can't, I don't think you can suddenly make this Joker, like PG, to work with, it's just tough, but I think it would be cool to see. And I think they're kind of forced to do it almost just because it was such a success. I mean, you can't make, what do they spend as far as budget? It was something like 50 million, and, they're probably going to end up close to $1 billion. So, they're almost forced to do something with it. They can't just leave it alone. And, it just makes you realize if the Suicide Squad movie was done better. What this shows to me is the popularity of the character of the Joker. That is, in my opinion, him and probably Darth Vader, the two most iconic villains in movie history. Definitely. And people will turn up to see him. But if you just use him the wrong way, or you mix it with a bad story or something, I really think if Joker was done right and that movie was done right, it would have been enough to carry, the DCU back then, and kept Justice League going and all that. But that's all pass.
Yeah, it's a good point about the 50 million as well. I saw a stat percentage-wise compared to the budget, it's done better than Endgame, which is just berserk, for the money that it's made. It's incredible. It's the best R-rated film ever as well, now, isn't it? It's just ridiculous, the popularity.
And that means like Terminator 2. There's a lot of like really successful R-rated films that
Yeah, it's absolutely mental. But I kind of with you on that. I think they should not kind of force him into the universe for the sake of one, albeit very good, but one movie. Just kind of leave it be, and then work on their own vision. Warner Brothers meddling has been what's cost the DCEU. So just
that's the scariest thing, though. Is Warner Brothers.
Well, keep the success and then run with it. Don't try and force anything.
If you go back all the way to like the Batman '89, their pattern has been basically like, okay, let's make this. Okay, it worked out. Okay, you can do whatever you want on the sequel, and we have no complaints. Like, okay, like Tim Burton. Okay, it worked. Okay, just go to town on Batman Returns. You can make everybody a zombie. Blah blah blah. Same thing with Joel Schumacher. Okay, Batman Forever worked. Yeah, just go to town. Just kick it up a notch. Do everything, and it just like they have to have. I still think they should control the movies, and they just need to have the right amount of control and somebody that knows what they're doing. I mean, there has to be someone to make sure, these characters are true to what they're supposed to be, but at the same time, give, some type of flexibility to the filmmaker to do what they want to do. It can't be either end of the spectrum.
The thing I'm most worried about is just the copycat process in general, because you see just how when Marvel started having success, everyone wanted to have a universe. When Dark Knight was the big superhero movie that broke all the records, everyone was trying to make their movie like Dark Knight, like Iron Man 3. Iron Man's 3 trailers, but it could be a SNL parody of the Dark Knight trailer. It's almost exactly like it.
It's true.
And ever since then, they tried to make superhero seriously. And now that they have a movie like this that is successful, I'm just afraid that everyone's gonna try to copy this, and it's just gonna be diluted, which Hollywood's known to do. So we'll see.
I think it started with Deadpool, and then Logan, and then then it's just this. They all just copy each other as far as if R-rated works, then let's make them all R-rated until it stops working.
No, but this is like a notch above those in terms of cinematography and Oscar worthy.
I'd love to see an R-rated Batman movie. I'd love to see that.
Oh yeah, actually, I think
DC
Black Label, it would work.
Do you think they would own DC Black Label Batman?
I think there's room for it. I think they just have to be careful again, because I think Batman is really sadly again on life support after Ben Affleck in Justice League, and they really need to do it right. We have to be careful. I mean, there was a time when we even entertained the thought of doing Thomas Wayne Batman on movie, but now I think we really just have to go back to basics. Let's get this guy down. Let's get his world down. We're almost like in Batman Begins, and but you can do versions of that where almost like a one-off, but it still has to be serious. And I wouldn't do it with the Flashpoint version. I would just do, if you're gonna do R-rated, just a regular one, almost like a crime story, just like a one-off that way. But you could definitely have an R-rated Batman, and that's the funny thing about Batman is he works with you can have Lego Batman anywhere to like Titans.
Adam West.
Yeah, Adam West works. I mean, they all work in their own way. I could still sit and watch Batman 66 and laugh. I mean, it's great with it. But I could still watch Titans too, where batarangs are cutting people's fingers off and stuff. And is this what level works for you?
Yeah, that's true.
What were you going to ask before you got interrupted, Scott?
I was going to ask what you think of the new Batman movie with sort of castings and also storylines, things like that. Anything you've heard or seen? What do you think?
I think with that one, I like what they're doing overall, just focusing on the actors. I think you always kind of... it's hard to please everybody, with these things, and you want to trade. It kind of goes back to the same thing where if you can trade, you have to stay true to the essence of the characters. And I think as long as you're doing that, it's going to work. I like Catwoman a lot, casting. Gordon, I haven't seen too much of like Westworld, so I'm not sure, but people seem to like that one. But I do like the Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman a lot. I was initially really against Batman himself. I wasn't a fan of that guy, but the more I see him, like maybe he's older now, you can take it more seriously. I just still think of him as Twilight, and I haven't seen enough of his movies to think otherwise. I like what the director did with the Planet of the Apes, and I think that his his vision and the way he kind of creates worlds works, and that's why I would be hesitant to try to combine it with the Joker that they had, just because you want to respect his world and let him do what he wants to do.
Good point. Yeah, definitely true. It's going to be interesting, and the amount of villains they're putting together. I think there's going to be like Mad Hatter as well, Two-Face, loads of different ones.
Yeah, it would be cool to see, that kind of, almost like just like a whodunit type mystery thing. I mean, we haven't seen that yet. It's always been kind of like, this is the bad guy and go get him. But it would be nice to have him actually do like, this investigation, and you really could maximize the rogues gallery with that.
Yeah, Long Halloween is supposed to be a slight inspiration for the story.
Yeah.
That's going to be definitely something to watch. It's
I'm
definitely
definitely looking forward to it. And then I think that they're going to try to do I heard I guess the Earth One suit, or which suit are they? That's a rumor, I think, that they're going to.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means yellow logo, or we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
That would be nice. It would be nice to see the yellow logo again. Outside of a toy.
They both work, yeah. I like both versions, so you can make them both work. Just no nipples.
No. Yeah, please God, yeah, don't like that.
I think we all agree on
absolutely horrendous. Yeah, that would be a horrendous thing to do.
Now, you mentioned Titans. Are you watching Titans?
I am. I'm behind. I mean, I'm behind on everything right now. I watched like the first 3 episodes, I think. But I like so far what I've seen, and
Scott hasn't seen it, so don't be spoiled.
I beg you both not to spoil it.
Oh yeah. No. I haven't seen much myself either, but so far, just as far as just the quality of acting and production, seems to be just blown away. I did finish Swamp Thing finally, which I don't know if you guys saw it. It started good, and then it just kind of dragged on and on and on.
That's exactly. No, that's a perfect. It started off great, and then kind of petered off. And I think also the fact that that it was canceled after one episode, you're just like, who cares?
Well, that's and it sucks to announce it like after the first episode, like, oh, you liked it? Oh, too bad, we canceled it.
Yeah, very weird timing for that
too. Like a lot of those like Marvel shows, you could really make them into like 6 episodes, but they just drag it out and it starts to get long.
You don't want to know about Daredevil's buddy?
Yeah. I really want to hear about his buddy's like love life and how his career is going as a lawyer, and let's spend a good 3 episodes on that.
I'm so glad. That's funny, but I'm glad that you're enjoying Titans, and I do agree with you. I feel like they stepped it up from last season. Everything's hitting on all cylinders. Scott will have to give his input once he sees it.
Very excited to see it. Can't wait. Really excited. Are you looking forward to the the Crisis crossover on?
Oh yeah, that's also
excited to see that.
Again, I'm behind on the shows. I'm a couple weeks behind, but I love. I mean, some of the rumors I have of people that are going to be there, and I think it's awesome that they're doing it. I mean, the big one, Brandon Routh. I mean,
he looks amazing.
We take it for granted. We see all these shows and stuff, but I mean, like it really is a cool time that they have all this stuff on, and I think I do commend them for kind of going outside the box and trying to not being scared to do these major kind of crossover events, and this one I think will be the biggest. And it's already started off good this season for all the shows that I've been watching.
It's hilarious to see the Kingdom Come Superman not only have a better suit, but also look better in it than the actual Superman they've got on that show. I think it's quite funny.
Yeah.
That CW Superman suit is absolute garbage.
I hate it. Everybody
it
loves
looks like
it.
cosplay. It looks like cosplay. It's dreadful.
It's like
Guy's not a fan of the CW.
No, I hate the CW. But I'm looking forward to the crossover, I've got to say. Just see Kevin Conroy as Batman. Or Bruce Wayne.
I'm looking forward to Burt Ward and Tights again.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I wish Adam West was still alive, because he would be there. Oh my God, that what a great way, like a final performance as Batman. I really wish we still had him.
He could do a dual role. He could do classic Batman and Grey Ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, if only. But it will be interesting to see what they do with Kevin Conroy as well. What are you hoping from that?
Oh, that'll be cool to see him actually. I mean, everybody's kind of always wanted to see him as an actual live Batman. I'm sure you have too. You guys are both big animated fans. So it'll be cool to see. And he can pull it off. I mean, he's he's got kind of a older Batman face. There's one person actually. I was watching Creed, and if they ever did it, it's really outside the box. But just looks wise, that old Stallone with his big broken face and his big broken knuckles in his face. I mean, he is Frank Miller Batman. At least looks wise, he could pull it off.
True, actually, yeah.
He's been beaten up by life.
Do you know that at one time he was cast to play Batman?
I think it was Superman or Batman?
No, it was Batman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Stallone in that famous fan video that it has Batman fight the Predator.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be, it was like around the time where he wasn't as popular in the early thousands. And they cast him, but he dropped out of it. And they also had Mark Hamill was going to play the live action Joker for that.
I still would love to see that.
As soon as Stallone dropped out, Hamill dropped out. And that leads to the other segue. What do you think that there might be a Hamill Joker appearance in live action form?
That would be, and if they were, I hope that that's one of the surprises on Crisis, because I'm sure there's still some that we haven't heard of. That would be a great one, because he's been on a few episodes before as, I can't remember the name of the character.
Trickster.
Yeah, Trickster. So he's been on there before, so imagine if he just showed up as the Joker.
He basically played the Joker once as like an alternate version of the Trickster, which is like...
Basically, yeah. So it
just happened.
That much of a stretch if he came on and played the Joker. That would be awesome if they could do that.
And I'm glad that they are keeping that a surprise. I hope that means that they have huge surprises under their belt if they're willing to like give as many hints as they're already giving.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot we haven't seen yet.
Even, what are your thoughts on the latest hints at rumors that was on a newspaper that had to do with the Burtonverse?
That? That's awesome. And what's his name's going to be in it? The Alexander Knox.
Yeah,
he's going to be there. So that's funny. That poor guy, he was all ready to be in Batman Returns and he never came back. So he finally gets some redemption.
Yes.
But I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see, Harvey from Burtonverse. I mean, there's a lot of people that kind of didn't get their justice. So maybe, who knows? We'll see Marlon Wayans Robin.
Marlon Wayans Robin.
Anything could happen at this point.
That would be so awesome.
He's still getting paid for it, so he might as well bloody do it.
Yeah. He got finally earned his paycheck for that.
Yeah, he finally earned some money from it.
Hey, he did get an action figure made, so he gets those residuals. No, that would be awesome. In fact, that you just made me more excited for what could possibly happen on that show.
I mean, everything's up for grabs. That's why it's so cool.
The Burtonverse. Maybe Danny DeVito will show up and a Force Ghost
with his black junk coming out of his mouth as his Force Ghost.
Eating a raw fish.
a Scarecrow hallucination where Nicolas Cage plays Scarecrow.
Oh God, that would be scary. Well, wasn't it supposed to be Howard Stern?
It's supposed to be either one of them.
Yeah, if it did continue, and then they were supposedly going to try to bring back Jack Nicholson for Batman 5.
That would have, and there is a record of him saying "I'm back" as the Joker, like at a press tour, but that's as far as it ever went. Which that would have been awesome. If only there wouldn't have been nipples and so much neon, we probably would have got it.
If only we had hashtags in those days, we'd have probably got that movie.
Did you guys ever see the de-assified cut of Batman and Robin? Where basically somebody went and edited out all the ridiculous stuff. It's only like a 30-minute movie, but it's actually not that bad. But they cut out all the silly lines. I think they completely cut out Alfred being sick and like Batgirl. But I mean, it's funny. It should have been a success. I mean, Batman Forever was big. You get Arnold in it, and just another botched job by Warner Brothers trying to rush it out, and
Joel Schumacher as well. God,
they said on set,
what an idiot,
and just be like, remember, guys, don't take this seriously. This is a cartoon. Kind of dumb it down. Remember to dumb it down before we're gone. So.
Oh Christ.
Yeah, that's what you get.
That's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all.
No. Now, as a result, we have a bunch of these great shows, and we are figure collectors, action figure collectors. Are there any figures outside of the one that you already mentioned that you're hoping that some company does a Joker figure?
Yeah.
Are there any particular figures that you're looking to get made? I know, but we really hope that they make some kind of Titans figures.
Yeah.
Yes, Titans is a big one.
That would be cool.
Nice
Honestly, the last multiverse wave, the Croc wave, they really checked a lot of boxes. I mean, with that Alfred, with the different heads, that was great. And then, we got a good Robin out of it. I just wish it was Robin without the double R. I don't know, I'm just old school. I like just a single R Robin to Drake. And then pretty good Nightwing. So they checked a lot of boxes there. But otherwise, I would like to see. I mean, especially if they have the licenses. Just some form of Michael Keaton, Bruce Wayne, just for when we're doing these nostalgia shots. And I would love to see, the Sonar suit, Batman Forever, the Batman Forever suit I thought was pretty cool. Just I think more just kind of the classic stuff that never got made. But that would be my biggest hope that one day. And you see Hot Toys is doing the Sonar suit and the Robin, although the colors are way off. If you've seen it, it bugs me. But I would love for like Mezco to do like a Sonar suit Batman, or who knows, or maybe McFarlane.
Cool.
Would you buy Ice Suit Batgirl?
How about no?
I remember getting one of those for Christmas that year. That movie came out. I was like, of all the figures.
Yeah.
They just literally they said they didn't have enough time, so they just went and got the Sonar suit and they just put like a silver plate over it. It's just like,
really? That's mad.
Is that for real? Look at it, is really it's actually nice, and I think it heavily inspired the Dark Knight suit. It's got with the lenses, and there's a lot of similarities with the kind of the mesh and everything inside the frame, and it was kind of ahead of its time.
Yeah, that's probably true, to be fair.
And it was nipple free.
Yeah, nipple free is a big big selling point on that. Yeah, that is a big selling point.
Now, is there anything that you saw that was previously shown at any of the new Comic Cons that you're really interested in getting?
Definitely the Mezco Batman '89. I think it was the first one that captured the just kind of the way the rubber suit looks in the movie. I think from the pictures I've seen, it looks amazing. And they have a Mr. Freeze coming out.
Do you think we'll get that Batman before or after 2025?
Cool. It's going to be a while.
Because they still have not done a pre-release on that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably get it in 2089 or something.
2089.
Maybe 22, yeah.
But then they drop like Harley out of nowhere and she's already up for pre-order like nothing.
Yeah, I think they probably I think it's a tough one with the rubber suit to make it work. They had some problems, remember, with Aquaman, where it looks amazing, but you can barely move it, and so I'm sure they're just trying to kind of tweak it a little bit. But that's probably my biggest one. The Mr. Freeze, the picture that I saw looks amazing. I'm really curious what the McFarlane figures will be.
I can't wait for them.
And just because we haven't really seen anything.
Do you have any idea, or have you heard any stuff that Scott knows about it already? If not, Scott has all the inside info.
Oh, yeah, I would love to hear it. Yeah, I haven't really heard anything about McFarlane, what they're going to drop or...
Oh, yeah, well, really excited for what McFarlane are doing. They're going to be doing a Superman animated series figure, a classic Batman animated series figure, a Green Lantern animated Justice League figure. And from comics, we've got a Superman, a Batman, obviously. Then you've got Batgirl, there's a Nightwing. There's an armored Superman, and there's a Harley Quinn. Would you believe? In fact, there's two Harley Quinns. There's a comic book one, and then the Birds of Prey movie Harley Quinn.
There's
as well.
two versions.
Yeah, there's two versions they're going to be.
And all these are going to be 7-inch scale?
7-inch scale, yeah. First wave is coming in January.
I love
McFarlane himself. So there's a lot more than that. You can probably find it somewhere online. If not, I can message it you or post on my story or whatever. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of figures, and the animated ones excite me a lot because I really like McFarlane stuff.
Have there been any leaks of pictures yet, or any photos of any?
No, I mean the only photos that they've given. I spoke to Toys in the Attic, who based in the UK, and they accidentally sent a Facebook message to everybody who likes their page on Facebook with the saying that McFarlane have announced these figures, and they give these images of characters they're going to be doing, but they weren't actual figure images. They were just images of the characters themselves. So yeah, they kind of accidentally dropped the ball on that, and so I messaged them about it, and they're like, "Oh, that's just what McFarlane sent us, but we've had to remove it." So we're like, "Oh, okay, that was a bit of a slip up," but yeah, really excited for that. I can't wait.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome. I think it'll be cool because I've kind of been checking out now that I know the other figures they do, like Stranger Things and stuff, and they're pretty good quality. It's sad though because Multiverse, I feel like they were just figuring it out at the end, and like some of their that Penguin one was good, the Batman Returns. And I mean the sculpt on Alfred, he's 7 feet tall for some reason, but the sculpt on him is
7 feet.
I think that was the big problem with Multiverse. They don't even know their own scale within waves. Yeah. It's a bit odd. They slowly grew throughout it. I mean, you probably know better than anybody because with the old red box Mattel figures, like they were mostly 6-inch, and then they sort of morphed into 7-inch over the space of a year. So the scales were a bit like wacky on some of those figures.
Yeah, that's why the McFarlane might not be that much of a stretch because I mean Mezco is almost 7-inch anyway. They're pretty big. So I mean whatever else you're working with, the way they are now, like you said, everything's kind of getting bigger and bigger. It seems like.
Yeah, I'm really happy someone's going to actually take the game to DC collectibles with the animated figures as well. It's about time. They've had it too cushy for too long, and they've been taking the mick out of fans a little bit, I think. So I'm really happy that someone's going to take the game to them. It's about time.
How did you guys like the those kind of like imaginary Batman animated imaginary Batman the animated series line with like Night Quest Batman and Red Hood and all those?
It's something we didn't need.
Continue.
Yeah, something we didn't need, but it's cool anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
And hopefully they actually release them because we haven't heard much about them.
Yeah. But I mean, that's apparently the reason they had to go into the new adventures or Adventures Continues, whatever they call it, stuff, because they haven't got the license for the animated figures anymore. They can only re-release characters they've made because McFarlane has got the license now. DC Collectibles want to take a step back, which is why McFarlane have got it.
And Scott surmised that's why they rushed out those crappy DC exclusive app ones with no accessories and that.
Yeah, the Justice League ones. That's probably what they did. Yeah, just to get them out there straight away.
Just to get them out,
yeah. They were amazing, but yeah, quality control was absolutely horrendous on those figures.
Some had 2 left legs.
Aquaman's got 2 left legs. Batman's got opposite feet on one of the figures. It's crazy.
Yeah. They're beautiful, but they just were rushed.
Yeah, very, very rushed.
They're lucky that they have 3D printers nowadays and not just relying on sculpt.
Yeah. You guys, I saw that you're starting some customizing and stuff. I mean, how do you like it as far as the Joker you made, Tyler?
It's not that hard. It's not as hard as people think. I think whenever it's just like with anything, especially like if you remember the first time you saw toy photography, you're like, holy crap, you're like intimidated by it. But then once you get into it, you're like, okay, I could do this. And luckily, my cousin was patient and showed me a few things. But you don't even need to have a sculpting tool. You can just do the twist the hair into little like worms and make sure you try to make it look like hair. And I think that it's definitely something different and something fun to do. And the good thing is that you can buy a lot of that putty for like $2. So it's not that really that expensive. And like I told Scott before, once you add heat to it is when it sets. So you can mess up and do as many mistakes as you like before. It's like you're not in a time period where, okay, I got an hour before this gets hard or anything like But so it's the perfect learning tool, I feel like. And luckily, I found a couple Alfreds that were for some reason marked as $10. So I was like, okay.
Oh, nice.
So I don't think it looks that as much as Joaquin Phoenix as I hoped, especially the Alfred face. But I mean, it was a lot better than me painting, trying to do eyes and all that. So
it has the essence of it.
It's fun. It's definitely fun, and I like seeing people do their own customs. Like I like seeing Scott's version of the animated and one that he did. I like seeing he actually did the paint for the code and all that.
I did see that one. You have it there?
I've got it here.
Like that looks so nice.
You know, I'll be honest. I saw that, but I thought that it was. I didn't know he actually painted it. I thought it was. That looks amazing.
I haven't actually posted the pictures of him as purple.
That's amazing. Yet. I didn't realize he actually painted it. That looks really nice.
I've not posted any pictures yet of him in the red suit. I did the face and then posted it in a purple suit. But yeah, I haven't done the I just dropped him. I haven't done the red suit yet. So yeah, I'll put them up on Monday.
The Nicholson one you got. For Mezco, that's the one that because they sell the unpainted version for like $10.
Oh yeah, grab it.
I was really.
This is right up your alley. Yeah. Do you have the Mezco Joker?
I have the Mezco Joker, but I mean, man, I would love to get a head like that for it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Really nice.
Probably the only way we'll get it.
Yeah, exactly. It is the only way you get one. But,
at Vin Faith Customs, he painted an amazing job. He's ridiculous. His customs are.
Especially the mouth and eyes. I don't know how he did.
Oh, it's ridiculous, man. I don't know. I genuinely don't get how they do it.
Give us a close up.
Crazy.
I've seen decent ones for $45, $50. Really nice.
Dang.
Yeah. Never rubbing on the man's rhubarb.
I just need to get something before that Mezco 89 Batman eventually comes out. I need something for Mezco Joker to go with them.
So does that mean you don't have the NECA version?
Of the Nicholson.
No, I
do have the NECA Batman 89 one. It's funny. It's a little too skinny. I don't know if it's just me. His arms are a little too skinny.
Yes. Yeah.
He has very narrow shoulders.
Yeah, and it's I have the 1/4 scale one, and it's not like that. So I don't know why on the smaller one, it came out that way. But on the Mezco, it looks more like the movie because I mean, it's not Keaton, it's rubber, but it's still bigger than that NECA figure, the 7-inch one. But that's also really, I mean, the head sculpt. Don't get me wrong, I love that figure, but. I mean, I think I'm going to do another round of Batman 89 whenever the Mezco one comes out.
You're not a fan of the lip gloss on some of them? Thankfully, mine didn't get it, but I definitely saw some horror ones.
On the NECA ones?
The NECA 89 where it just looked like you had pink lip gloss on. And...
Oh, luckily mine didn't get that one.
Yeah, I was very afraid I was never going to find a decent one, but... Well, it doesn't matter anyway because it broke after 3 poses. So.
That's actually true.
Immediately came off. I don't know if it's just supposed to be tucked in or glued, but I still kind of have to tuck it in. But it didn't last.
Yeah, that's the one. And I wrote them about that, and you don't hear anything from them. So you just hear crickets. But I do hope that eventually we do see a pre-release very soon for that 89 because I would love to see you do a whole story take on that. Yeah, especially definitely. Just because I'm loving the photos that you've been doing recently. How long did it take to do the Photoshop of the Toy Biz style Mattel with Vicky Vale? That classic picture.
That one actually surprisingly not that long. I just had to really time. I literally held the figure in front of the computer with her picture, and what? I had to change the scale of the photo just where it would be perfect. And it was hard because then you always see the real photo of Batman behind her. So it was hard to just kind of, not too big, not too small. But that's why I had to kind of add some shadowing there. But yeah, I haven't really done too many like that. But yeah, that's straight up just a photo of the movie next to that one and then just shading it all around.
That's funny too because it's things like that where you just feel like you you know the way someone did something, but then you actually hear the story and it's completely different.
Yeah. I did one a while back with the Batmobile, and it was a while back. It was out of the museum where they come out, and I think for Photoshop, I think that was the one where it worked the best ever. And it was a shot where they're running to the car, and I just put my 1/18 scale over it. And I think out of the Photoshop, the ones I've done, I think that was the best one I ever did. But it's tough. It's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes you see it. Sometimes it works better than others. But this last wave, like I said, it was just so it was just fun to use those retro and put them in those scenarios. With it just looks it's kind of this like dichotomy, because it's like with the photo and then with this kind of like cartoonish classic figure, and I don't know, it's just kind of like a fun mix.
I loved it. I like seeing those pictures.
I do have one coming up, and it involves a button.
That's what I just wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask if you have any big storylines that we should keep our eyes out coming up.
I just did a few Batman Return ones. Some of them work better than others, but I did have the one with Penguin putting the button. That one did the. I had to have that one and the funeral where the penguins dump him into the pool. So those are kind of the ones I enjoyed more, and then kind of soon. I think by the end of the year, then I'm going to start the Red Hood one, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yes,
and so will we. And
definitely.
I want to wrap it up because I'm just so impressed by Baby Neela's being so good right now. She's being such a trooper.
Put her right to sleep.
She's being such a trooper. Any last words, Scott?
Yeah, massive thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. And keep pumping out those shots because really, really enjoying seeing where the stories go. And I'm looking forward to the Justice League DCEU extended.
Yeah. The son of Martha.
Yeah, the son of Martha. It's the son of Martha. We need to start a hashtag.
Yeah, once he starts, we should start doing that with a hashtag.
Yeah, there you go. That can be the new hashtag you can use for it.
That would be fun.
Well, thank you guys again for having me. Again, I'm a big fan of both of you guys. You're both awesome photography and awesome ideas, and always keeping it. It is a lot of work to do the amount of pictures on a daily basis, and I can definitely appreciate the time it goes, and just the consistent quality from both of you is just it really is amazing that for so many years on a daily basis, multiple times a day, just like amazing photo after amazing photo after amazing photo. And
it's all going to end soon.
Inspiring.
Once a kid comes, it's all going to go out the window. Or for me, at least, not for Scott.
Are you?
No, that's very kind of you. What?
Yeah. Are you excited? Oh, well, congratulations.
Scott's expecting, yes.
Yeah.
No, I'm just no.
Yeah. I'm 2 months gone.
I'm expecting a little girl. So.
Oh, awesome, man! Congratulations.
January. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes and how the time management goes once that happens.
Well, hopefully we'll see. We'll still see some, even if it's less.
It shouldn't be too bad. Probably, I'm sure it's overhyped.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely make it work. There's still, everybody needs their personal time still, so it's just that's when you do it.
That's why we're very honored that you took this time to hang out with us, even though you could have been having your own personal time. That you took time to come nerd out with us and talk a little bit about your page and about the cool stuff that you're up to with your stories. New figures we got to see recently that you're excited to get, and new figures that you talked about that we have to look out for, like the new NECA alien stuff and the blue.
Oh, yeah. And some of the quality on those things is amazing, yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing those pictures, and hopefully that won't be too long, selfishly for me, because I want to see.
Well, I think within a couple of weeks they'll be.
Nice. Well, this has been DC Figures and Collectibles, and again, we want to thank @son_of_Martha, and yes, that is making fun of BVS. It is, but he also loves the movie, so he knows how to take a joke and tell a joke. So
I do love it, so it's ironic that I make fun of it.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I guess that's just the fan in us, but we still understand the points that people make fun of, but we can't help but love it.
Exactly.
Scott, you said you saw Justice League 3 times and you just don't like that.
Yeah, it's not the best.
So yeah, just a fan of this, but this is DC Figures and Collectibles. We'll watch the stuff that we don't necessarily love over and over because it's still the stuff that we love. So,
yeah, we'll be in blind denial.
So we thank you for joining us again. Thank you for all the messages of support. Let us know that you guys enjoy the show. Go follow and support at Son of Martha. Check out his stories. They're always a lot of fun, and he's especially lately he's been stepping up his game like crazy. So you should go check out his page, and we will talk to you very soon. Bye.